And welcome back to Clutch Time with Rico. Today we are talking about Lamarion Sherwood, who is a top 3 prospect in this upcoming draft. We're going to start to do video series where we really focus in on some of the prospects that are coming out. We're going to be looking at the strengths. We're going to be looking at the weaknesses. And we're also going to be looking at the player comparison. So we're going to be looking at this player and how they compare to a player at the next level. And so starting with Lamarion Sherwood, like I said before, he is a top 3 prospect in this upcoming draft. And what you have to love about Lamarion Sherwood is he is having a great season right now. Currently, at the time of this particular recording, Iowa is 4-1 in its last 5 games. They're currently ranked 7th in the nation. And this is a large in part to just Lamarion Sherwood in his play. And what you love about him is he's such a good player that currently he is a front runner for player of the year. We'll see what happens as the season really continues to unfold. But let's go ahead and jump into the strengths. And if you want to take a look at what I'm looking at here, this is on Bleacher Report. The author of this is Heather Pedersen. So make sure that you go ahead and check that out. And so let's go ahead and jump into Lamarion Sherwood and what was said here. And so I love that they put a ceiling and a floor here. So keep that in mind. The ceiling is Moses Malone and the floor is Andre Drummond. We'll come back to that. So let's start with the strengths. And so I think the first strength for Lamarion Sherwood is that Lamarion Sherwood is a double-double machine. Okay, because Lamarion Sherwood is averaging 26.5 points per game and also 10.9 rebounds a game. And so Lamarion Sherwood finds ways to put the ball in the basket and also to clean the glass. And so any team is going to need a player like this that can go out and get you rebounds, especially on the offensive end, because your percentages go up when you get offensive rebounds. And as your percentages go up, you get more shots on the goal. That obviously is going to lead to more success for your team if you have a rebounder like Sherwood. And also, too, with his ability to rebound on the defensive end, you're taking away possessions from the other team. So you absolutely want that. His ability to get inside and get the ball in the basket is always going to be a plus on any level when you can score like he can. So he's a double-double machine. That is definitely a strength. So next up, post offense. And so look, Lamarion Sherwood is terrific in the post, as noted here, really has a terrific feel for the game. And what I love about it, when you look at his tape, you look at some of his games, he understands how to score at different levels in the post. So he's fine with being like kind of right under the basket. He's comfortable there. He's comfortable operating towards the baseline. He's very comfortable going in towards the interior of the defense. So he has a very good feel for the post. So that is another strength. He has a great feel for that. So you got to love that. Next up, this kind of goes hand in hand with his post offense, but it is his shot creation. So it's his ability to understand, how the defense is playing him and just really knowing how to really move the defense to where he gets comfortable and he's able to get his own shot, because that is huge. That means that you don't necessarily need another player to set you up. He has the ability to go out there and create his own shot. So shot creation is critical, especially at the next level. So because there's going to be some times where, you're going to have to pretty much do it yourself. And so that Lamarion Sherwood has that in his tool bag. So that is absolutely a plus. Next up, he's a good ball handler. So he has a tight handle, which is great, especially as a big man, because you know that when the double teams come, he doesn't get flustered there. Obviously, when he gets into a press situation or they're trying to press him, he knows how to handle the basketball there. When he turns his back in the post, he understands where the defender is, and he knows how to keep the ball away from his defender. So that is good too as well. And that also too could lead you into being a better jump shooter, which we're going to talk about that here in a moment. Next up, another plus for Lamarion Sherwood is he is a terrific defender. He understands how to move his feet down there in the post as far as playing post defense. He understands rotations. He understands how to use his length as well. And so that is a plus. You know, a player that knows how to play under control, knows how to defend, knows how to use his size and ability that way. So that is a plus when you have a player that can come in and immediately he can help you on the defensive end. Next up, he has great strength. And so I've seen several different games where he's just been able to hold his own inside. I think that that is something that is going to translate at the next level. I think that once he gets to the next level, he gets into the strength program. They kind of get him a personal trainer, whatever that looks like when you're working with some of these teams. I think that you're going to see him put on some more weight and he's going to get even stronger. So it's good to know that he has that as a plus. Now, let's go ahead and look at his weaknesses. And so I think when you look at his weaknesses, I'm going to say that if I'm a GM, it's not anything that is going to really, I think, scare me away. In fact, I'm intrigued with his weaknesses and with his work ethic. I think that he's going to get better. And so I think that his first weakness, when you look at his profile, is going to be he just kind of lacks quickness. He doesn't have very much quickness. And I think that that's something that he's going to have to get better at, because when you get to the next level, the pace picks up. You're going to need to be able to transition and you're going to be able to need to move back and forth up and down the court that way. And so, I'm not too worried about this, because I think back at this is one of the issues with Zach Edey, who came out last year. And Edey has become a very good player right now for Memphis. And so I think that, you put this young man onto the speed ladder and things like that. I think he's going to start to get that type of quickness. And so he can develop that. And that's going to also help him on the offensive end. That's going to give him a little bit of burst when he goes to a spin move in the post, and also too when he goes to maybe a little bit more of a step back in shot creations. Next up, jump shooting. And so this is talked about here. He has got to become a little bit better of a jump shooter. I think if he does that, I think that his ceiling can be even better than a Moses Malone. And we're going to talk about that in a moment. But when we talk about just shooting the basketball, it doesn't necessarily have to translate to just shooting the three ball. I know that that is something that is critical in today's game. But if you do have a pick and pop game, you're able to do that. Or if you're able to just maybe step out and get that little 10-footer, things like that, that's really going to kind of open it up. One of the things that's mentioned here on Jamison Johnson is a Tim Duncan ceiling. Like if you can get a Tim Duncan type of game to Lamarion Sherwood, I think that that is something that's serviceable at the next level. And that's something that he can definitely do that. I think he can definitely do that because he's already comfortable with the post. And I think that if you're comfortable with that, then you can start to work your way out towards the perimeter. Most players do that in their career. They start there and they kind of work their way out as they get comfortable. So I think that he can absolutely do that. Now, it's not necessarily a weakness. And I think it is a strength, but I want to see it get a little bit better. But can he become an even better passer? Because right now he's second on the team in with 3 assists a game. And I think that there's some more potential there. And so, as he gets to the next level, the double teams are going to come. I think that, defenses are obviously going to have scouting reports that are more detailed and things like that. And they're going to be geared towards trying to make him become a bit more of a playmaker. And so if he becomes a bit more of a playmaker, which I think he can definitely work on that, I think that kind of unlocks him. And so when you start to talk about, just player comparisons and ceilings, like if he becomes more of a passer, and then also too develops that 10 to 8 foot jump shot, I'm starting to think of a player like Sabonis, who plays for the Kings. I could see that. He's also an excellent passer, so that's a comparison. And then I think that if he becomes more of a 3-point shooter to go along with what he has as far as just scoring in the post and things like that and his level of physicality, I like a Miles Turner. I think that he compares to a Miles Turner. I see that a lot in him. I think he can do that. And I know that they have his floor as an Andre Drummond type of player. I think he's a little bit more than that, because Andre Drummond, remember, he struggles shooting the free throws. And what Sherwood does, is he gets to the free throw line. He's very good at that. And if I'm going to give him a comparison right now with a player that he's just I think from day one, he just really looks a lot like this player. I think it's a DeAndre Ayton. I think that him and DeAndre Ayton are very similar. When you look at the height, 7 foot, DeAndre Ayton's 247. I think that Sherwood is 240. So you can see that they're right there with the weight. And I think that Sherwood is going to put on more weight. I just talked about that. So I think that you see more of a comparison there. And then as far as the free throw percentage, right now, Ayton at 75.8. When you look at Sherwood, he's at 75%. I think that that's something that does go up. But initially coming into the league, you can see where there's a comparison. And then coming off of the pick and roll, I can see that Sherwood is going to be able to do that. The half roll, I feel like he's going to be able to be effective there. Also, he's going to be a lob threat as well. So that reminds me a lot of DeAndre Ayton. And so I think depending on where he goes, if he's with a team that has a pretty good point guard that's able to kind of probe the lane, understands passing angles and things like that, then I think that that is certainly going to benefit Sherwood. But like I said before, one of his bigger strengths is shot creation. So he's going to be able to understand what to do with the basketball when he gets it. So anyway, let me know in the comments what you think about these player comparisons. Do you agree with me in the sense that, yes, you see right now, immediately, he might be like a DeAndre Ayton? Do you think that, yeah, if he does learn how to stretch to the floor, he could be like a Miles Turner type of player? I'd love to know what your thoughts are. Let me know in the comments here. So make sure that you press the like, you make sure you hit that subscribe button, make sure that you mash on that notification bell so you can stay up to date with all the latest video drops here on SWTV. Like I said before, I'm going to be doing some more series like this pretty much throughout the season, where we're going to be looking at even more details on some of these draft prospects coming out. Make sure you let me know in the comments what you guys like. And as we always say around here, see the game, be the game. This is Rico. This is Clutch Time. I'm coming back with some more content soon. All right, guys. We'll see you in the next one. Peace.